when I go to the website and I'm looking at it, it's, and I always struggle with this. I am a technician, and I always have to put my other hat on, and it's sometimes a challenge. So for the years that I have read this, I look at it from the technical standpoint of things like, only family members and over 21 advisory voting, and a chairman and a secretary. And I get so in my head around that piece. Mm-hmm. So for those who might go to your website, go to the James E. Hughes Jr. Foundation website, and they're looking at this outline of the family bank. Mm-hmm. How do you pull those two pieces together? I mean, I hear what you're saying, but now, so how does, adopting the Rothschild model fit in these things, and put it all together? How do we pull this together?
Well, let me say, first of all, that humane organisms need to evolve to a structure to support their humanity, not the other way around. So I've often said to clients and friends and people like you and our audience today, think first about the culture, try it out for a while, and then see what rules you need. See what structure you need. Start it out, try it out, see how it feels. See how you do it, not so somebody else does it. Now, I'm going to say something now that's a little bit the elephant in the room for some of our technicians. They'll notice that not one thing my father said had anything to do about structure or taxes. Nothing.
Right.
Nor have I said one thing in nearly 40 minutes about those things. I'm not ignoring them. I've been a lawyer for 55 years. I have my license. Yes, for the last 30 years I haven't practiced, but I understand motivation. But Michael, my entire life, and my dad's before me, and this was part of his wisdom, is figure out something that makes sense, try it, play with it. There's a wonderful philosopher named Huizinga who said that the way to define Homo sapiens, our species, is that we play. We're not tool makers. That was earlier species. We play. We are creative, curious species, aren't we? And gregarious. We have to do stuff together. So we can't survive alone like many animals can from the day they're born, but we can't. So play. And Dad would say, and Jay would say, and I think Michael would say to a family, if this is a good idea, play with it. Highest kind of play. Then decide what rules you actually need. And by the way, purposefully, now I will show that I was a little bit, I was playing mischievous in that paper I wrote. I very carefully did everything I can not to have structure in that paper. Not because it isn't necessary. So I minimized it on purpose, not minimized. That's not fair. I did as little as I could, hoping that a family that was interested in this would try it out and then see what rules they like to have. What structure helped them do the culture.
Every family's different, right? And so,
yes.
Yeah. And so it was really interesting now that when I gave in a previous podcast, we talked about the grandparent-grandchild project that I call it.
Right.
And I gave the paper to a client and I asked if she would like any help. She said, no, I'm running with it.
Yes.
She wanted to play.
Right. She wanted to play. Grandma wants to play. Come on.
Yeah. So this, we can give to people, and I think it needs to be paired, from my perspective, for someone like me at least, it needs to be paired with this podcast so we can listen to the initial intent so that we don't get lost in the outline.
That is exactly what I was hoping I achieved. So if I've achieved it with you, I'm hoping I can achieve it with one more person who's listening to us, because it is easy to start making rules and writing stuff down and giving people titles. But here's the problem with that. It's subtle. Someone first has to write the play. There has to be a plot.
Yeah.
The plot's the culture. What is the play about? And when the artist who's leading the play, the head of the Mummers or Peter Quince and leading those funny players in A Midsummer's Night's Dream, the play has to emerge. Then you have to figure out who can play what role. Not everybody can play every role. No. And then you have a play that has substance. And by the way, you end up with a comedy, which, as the Greeks said, is everyone standing at the end of the play rather than bodies lying on the stage. We want to write comedies, comedies, but plays, if I can make a bad pun, plays that play.